Riffical Records presents the East-West Vinyl Analysis with your hosts Mark Anthony Kay and Ken Keenan. Greetings, friends, and welcome to episode 6 of the East-West Vinyl Analysis. It is great to be back with you again. It is February 9th, 2018. Here in Canada, we are getting snowed in. What else is new with us here in Canada? We always seem to get bombarded with snow, whether it's in Ontario or Alberta. But anyway, you're not here to talk about weather with us. We're here to talk about vinyl. And of course, with me as always is my good friend, the voice of reason, and the man who has an equally fantastic vinyl collection to my own. And that is my good friend on the West Coast, Mr. Ken Keenan. How are you, sir?
I'm good, Mark, and I'm sorry to hear about your weather over there because I'm having good weather here. It's mid-70s today, but we're kind of in a drought kind of period. We need some we need some rain actually, but it'll probably come eventually. But I can't complain.
I'll tell you one thing, we could ship you a whole military plane full of snow over here that could melt and easily give you a lot of drought relief, that's for sure.
In our reservoirs here.
Yeah, no kidding. Well, like I've said before, I'm envious of your weather. I've heard the greatest line I've heard about California was from that taxi driver when I told him that you guys had nice weather, and he says, "This is California, man. We always have good weather here." So
it's not too bad.
Yeah. Much better than over here, but I guess the trade-off is that we do have 4 seasons, whereas you guys really don't, but whatever. Is that really that important? Who knows? Okay, so today's topic, my friends, is something that lots of people enjoy, and I know that myself and Ken are also great fans of this, and that is colored vinyl. Now, just a little quick preface before we get started, as we will each show 3 colored vinyl. They don't necessarily have to be our favorites, but I'm sure we'll each have reasons for picking the ones that we have. Colored vinyl, for the longest time, usually had a bad rap. People usually associated colored vinyl with inferior sound quality, blah, 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 blah. And as we've gone on through the years now, we've found through research and also with pressing plants doing due diligence that that's not necessarily the case, that in fact colored vinyl sometimes actually sounds better in some cases than black vinyl. Now, that's mainly because of the fact that colored vinyl 90% of the time has to use virgin vinyl material. So it's very rare that you see colored vinyl using regrind material, mainly because of the difference in the color shade. If you were to use a regrind, plus there could be dirt in there and dust and all kinds of crap, so you don't want to use a regrind. You want to avoid it as much as possible. But there are many cases, and one case, for example, is that United Record Pressing have every once in a while a sort of sale available to artists, usually independent ones that can't afford to pay full price for colored vinyl, where they use vats of regrind of different color, combine it all together into one, and make this kind of really unique sort of multicolored colored vinyl. Now, there's a video online about this from United Record Pressing, and the guy who did the video openly will say that while it looks really cool, the sound quality is pretty crap. So, I mean, it's usually more of a thing where if you like collecting colored vinyl and don't really care about the audio quality, then you can get these done and people will still probably buy them if they're collectors, but that's probably the only way that you'll get a dumpy sounding colored vinyl. So colored vinyl is cool, it's hip, it's here to stay, and it sounds really good. So let's talk about some of our colored vinyl and what ones we picked and why did we pick them. So I believe I went last time first, or was it?
I think I went first last time.
Okay, do you want me to start first?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, great. So my first record that I chose is a recent purchase. Very recent, actually. It's a 2018 release. And I have to thank my colleague here, Mr. Ken Keenan, mainly because this artist, I've been getting into more and more because of number one, a record that he sent me in the mail recently, and also while I've been collecting this artist as well beforehand. After I picked up this record from Ken, or when he sent it to me, I really started getting more into his back catalog, and this was one record that I wanted to buy, and it re-fired up my, excitement to go out and buy it. So this is Alice Cooper.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome to My Nightmare. This is the 2018 purple vinyl pressing of it. You'll see there in the
Yep.
Okay, so I'll take it out of the sleeve because what I do, I'm very against shrink wrap. I believe it does affect the sleeve itself, and you do get warpage over time, so I always take it out. So as you notice, I carefully take off my stickers,
The hype sticker, and put it on the.
and put it on there.
That's good.
And people are usually none the wiser for that when I do it. So there's the album out. Now, as we all know, this is the first proper solo record for Alice Cooper. It is one that really put him on the map as far as I'm concerned. I mean, you have Welcome to My Nightmare, Only Women Bleed, Department of Youth, Cold Ethel. There's so many songs on here that are really fantastic on here. And again, another Bob Ezrin production, and a Bob Ezrin production that I actually like. So this is a great record, and you even have a special guest Vincent Price on here. So that's
the first official solo album for Alice. Yeah.
It definitely is. Here's the sleeve that comes with it. Now, usually at this point, I would have already taken it out and replaced it with my MoFi sleeve, but I'm out of them right now. I have to go grab a bunch, which is the reason why I still have it in this. I usually first thing take it out of these to preserve the sleeve itself. Now, if you take it out here, now this is the interesting thing about colored vinyl, folks, which we'll get to. This is what's called a solid color pressing, because now I'm not sure if you'll be able to see how it is purple.
Yeah, it's hard
to tell.
The closer you get to the camera, the more you can tell it's purple, or if you turn at an angle, I think. Yeah, because it's a dark purple. It is a dark purple. Yeah.
Because it's
cool.
So,
yeah.
Yeah. So there's the center label.
Yeah, pull it back to your shirt, right to your shirt. I think it gives a perspective of, kind of. I guess it doesn't help, but it's purple, and you can see it at certain angles. You can tell, you can see that purplish there.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's cool.
And yeah, so
that's a rare kind of color.
Yeah, and I've listened to this already. It sounds fantastic, and I really like this record. It's well done.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, sure, you could say that these same songs could have been done with the original Alice band, and it probably would have came out similar. But we knew this was going to happen eventually. Alice Cooper was the star of the band. They were going to put him out on his own, sure. And this is the first outing of it. So this is a fantastic record. If you don't have it, then this is a great time to get this, because the 2018 pressing turned out really nice, and it sounds good. So if you're a big fan of Alice Cooper, grab this.
And they'll be limited, too.
Yeah.
Well, before we got started here, Mark and I talked, and we said there's probably no chance that we're going to pick the same record. It's like, I said, 100% chance that we're not, or 99%. And, but sure enough, that was one of my 3 albums. But I have some more comments on that. Because the story I told Mark that I was going to tell, and he might be aware of it. But first, I'm going to show my hype sticker. See, I cut it out. This one I cut out.
Okay.
and I don't know if it's exactly the same, but it's that Rhino starts your. It's called start your ear off, right? Not your year off, but start your ear off, which is kind of clever. So the other thing is, I ordered this album, and I ordered the new Killer. That is going to be on colored vinyl too. But the deal is, I got this is January, late January. They stopped the production, and they recalled the my order, but they recalled the actual Killer, and Easy Action had an issue, misprint, and because I just by chance I was looking into it, and I saw about heard about it. Well, what happened is those are also on colored vinyl, but the deal is they recalled them and had Amazon and Barnes and Noble and whoever, all the places send them back, right? But some people kept them, and some people are selling them on eBay, and because these are going to be rare. Well, I went out and saw that, and then I went to eBay and I bought the two misprints, and what it is it's these two out. It's Killer, which is on. It's going to be on what color vinyl? Limit red and black vinyl, and the Alice Cooper Easy Action is on a gold vinyl. Easy Action.
Okay.
So, but I haven't opened them. They're still sealed. But the deal is, what they did is they got the right colors down. The labels are correct on the albums. But if you put on Easy Action, Killer plays. If you put on Killer, Easy Action plays. So they pressed them on the wrong. They used the wrong stamper for these two albums. So they're out there. They're a little pricey right now, but they're going to disappear. I don't know how many are going to be out there.
What I'm curious about, though, Ken, is I'm going to take a quick look here on the dead wax. I guess if unfortunately, because yours are sealed, you can't do it. But
we can compare that one.
Okay, because on here, I'm pretty sure. If I'm looking here. Yeah, this is pressed at MPO. This record, which is in France, which is the Western pressing manufacturing plant.
That's a U.S. thing, probably. Oh, wait a minute. This says MPO on it also.
Yeah, that's pressed in France.
Okay, interesting.
So
the color look on this one.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the one. Yep. Yeah. So and this one to me sounds fine, and it's. I'm just wondering if they did the same, if they pressed those at the same plant, because that seems very odd, because I've never had an issue ever with MPO. In fact, they're one of the more reliable pressing plants I found.
I'm thinking it might be different. Well, we'll find out, I guess, but it might be a different plant, because the guy that I bought them from was from down on eBay. It was from Southern California, which I think is where they press a lot of the Rhino stuff. But I don't know. And this guy may work for Rhino for a while. It's doing something on the side. I don't know. But anyway, so that's interesting that we both picked that album. That's a great album. One of my first Alice Cooper albums I bought in the 70s. It might have been my second album I bought. My first one was From the Inside, which you have now.
Yes.
I guess
that's the one that I got.
Since we're talking about this album, we'll just talk about it in Canada. It's 21 times, 2 times platinum, I guess. Well, I think there's a 21 there. I don't know what that stands for, but it went to number 2 in Canada.
Yeah, and it was a pretty big record.
And five in the U.S. and it's platinum. platinum. Now it has numbers next to these: silver 22, platinum, platinum 11. Does it mean it's 11 times platinum? I don't know.
It could very well be.
And 20. What is? Yeah, I don't know what platinum
Platinum in Canada
is. How
is it's half a million.
Okay, that's like gold and.
No, actually, sorry. No, that's incorrect because 50,000 copies is gold, so 100,000 copies is platinum in Canada.
Okay, because this one says 21 next to platinum in Canada. So, oh wow, okay. So it probably went like over a couple million, right? Does that sound right? I don't know, my math is not good. So,
It's possible. My Nightmare is still a song that gets played very often here on radio in Canada, and especially in Toronto here. But also, Only Women Bleed was also another big song here too, right? So
yeah. That was
it's possible. It's possible that could have really pushed it over the edge as far as sales here.
Okay. Interesting.
Since we both picked the same first record, do you want to go next?
That's fine. I can go next. All right. So this is everyone knows, pretty much everyone know this artist. And this is a compilation album, and it's a greatest hits that was released in, I believe, '78, and it is the Steve Miller Band's greatest hits record.
Mm-hmm.
And what you'll notice, and something else I never really noticed, I don't remember noticing, is down here under the horse on the cover, it's supposed to be like Steve Miller playing guitar under there. You have to really look, but you can kind of see this is kind of a face there, and this may be part of a guitar.
Oh, okay.
They kind of superimposed it, or whatever you want to call it, which I don't remember, about it. This is a promo.
Mm-hmm.
So it has the hole punch here. Though the promo doesn't say promo on the actual record itself. But this is kind of a harder one to find, because the deal with this one is, and I might as well just show you the sleeve here quick. It's kind of showing live concert pictures and I think more stuff like that. Oh, hold on. We'll have to edit this video. I had to answer that, Mark, because that was the delivery of the vault.
Oh, you got it finally.
Yeah, it just showed up. I guess he rang a couple. He was about to leave because I guess I didn't hear him, right? Because of the.
Oh.
And I heard, is that doorbell and something? And he was about to leave, and he's like, "This thing's heavy." Because anyway, the weight, it's supposed to be, it says 56 pounds, which is, the vault's only supposed to weigh 40 pounds, but it's weighing 56 pounds. So,
wow.
I don't know if they got heavier packaging or what, but. All right, so.
Well, you got your vault finally.
I got it. And I was just at this part, right? And I was going to bring up, so the vinyl on this one is a translucent blue vinyl.
Looks familiar.
Yeah, yes. Which is kind of funny. But this one, I think it was mastered at Capitol. It says, mastered at Capitol. And nothing else special about it. But other than these blue ones were only on promo copies.
Oh, really? Eh?
You can't. They didn't sell them to the public, so keep that in mind. That's a kind of a
Huh.
interesting thing, and it's you know what this thing sounds great. It really does
Oh, I
sound
bet.
great. It's a pretty clean copy. So if you know, people know these songs. Most of the songs on this were from the two major albums, "Fly Like an Eagle" and "Book of Dreams," which had a ton of hits,
Yeah.
and were just they're my two favorite Steve Miller albums. You know, I love the whole album, so both of them I play them all the way through. I love all the songs. It's just to me they're just. But you know, those albums were recorded at the same time. Steve Miller, when he recorded it, he recorded two albums worth of material, and he broke them up into two records, which was, jeez, you know, it worked out great. So yeah, the only extra song I think that's not wasn't was the Joker, which came on the album before the Joker album, but that was his real breakout, I guess you'd call it, hit. So that's Steve Miller Band.
Great. Very cool. Now, it's very interesting, though, how you brought up the fact that the blue vinyl is only for promo, which is what makes it that much more rare and makes it that much more interesting that they would have made a colored vinyl the promo copy. So that's very interesting.
And it's not the only. Let me just say, I recently got another one. It was an Electric Light Orchestra that is gold of Olay ELO, which is like mid-70s. After Face the Music album came out, they kind of did the best of on that, and that's a gold colored, and that's a promo also. So that's another one I did like that.
Interesting. Yeah. Very interesting for all you Steve Miller people out there.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll go on to my number two. Now, my number two, again, is a more recent one, not 2018, but last year. From an artist that I've shown several times on my YouTube channel here. And, you know, he's no longer with us anymore, but his material will be with us forever, as usual. Now, the interesting thing with this colored vinyl is I thought initially when I got this that, oh, wow, this is interesting that they're putting this album out on a colored vinyl. And then after more research, I found that the first UK pressing of this album was originally done in '78 on the same colored vinyl. So I think that when they did the reissue of this now, that they were trying to go full out and reproduce the actual first UK pressing of this. So I will not delay you any longer and show you what it is. And it is David Bowie, Stages. And this is on yellow vinyl.
Nice.
This is a really good record. Now, I know most people, so we can get that clear out of there. I know most people are weary, that's it. Weary of David Bowie live albums.
Oh, okay.
Because of the David Live and how he turned his classics into some sort of jive soul versions of it. So people were kind of like scratching their head going, what the hell? You know? But this is from the period, the Berlin Trilogy period. Mm-hmm. So he was doing all the records like from, you know, Station to Station and Heroes, right?
Right.
And he also did Low and stuff like that. So all the songs on here are fantastic, right? They're great songs. And the band, more importantly, is great. I mean, you have Carlos Alomar on rhythm. You have Adrian Belew on guitar, lead guitar. Now, the story with that is that since Robert Fripp did a lot of the guitar playing earlier on, they were hoping to get him to appear.
Okay.
But he would not commit to any sort of live performance, so he was unable to do it. So I will just take out the vinyl here. Now, for whatever reason, this actually came from my box set that came for this period of time. They did that. They released those box sets at that time for the certain period. And this is a New Career in a New Town box set. Now, they always seem to put in these sleeves for whatever reason. I have no idea why they just put these
Right.
normalized blank sleeves in there, because they put the actual vinyl in really decent anti-static sleeves, right?
Interesting. I guess they want to
So
represent
this is,
the original plain
yeah.
white sleeve, I guess.
So here you have the yellow
Oh, yeah.
translucent.
Yep.
This is a double record.
Mm-hmm.
So let me just get this properly into.
Okay. Nice.
Now, anybody who's into this period of David Bowie's work will absolutely love this. I mean, you have, you know, a Speed of Life, Art Decade, Breaking Glass, which is a big hit from this. You have Heroes, obviously. You have Beauty and the Beast. You know, this is all stuff from that time period in a live form. So, like, even second album, they give you again that
Yeah. Yeah.
unnecessary extra sleeve for some reason, and you have again the vinyl here, and then, you know, side one on this has Hang On to Yourself, Ziggy Stardust, 5 Years, Star, Soul Love, Station to Station, which is a great version of this. It's like 11-minute version of Station to Station on this,
So it was.
and it's a
Just a quick question. It was normally a double album originally, too, probably, right?
yeah.
And I just noticed how they pressed it with the groove is the run out is a lot larger, probably than the original, I bet.
Yeah, I'm thinking that too. Now, the interesting thing is that in this box set that came out, they also have a 2017 version of it as well, and that it's a 3-record version, which has the complete proper concert of it on there in the proper order as well, right? Now, here's another interesting thing that they did, and this is what I love, and this is the kind of record that inspires me when I make my own records. People always ask me, like, what made you think of putting a poster or this and that? And this is the kind of records that I love because they do stuff like this. They included the David Bowie fan club thing inside there. You turn the back, it shows the records that are out already at the time. And I believe, if you open it, you see you have the fan club information in there.
Okay.
So it's I think this is great. This is the kind of stuff, these little extras, that I think customers or supporters or buyers really appreciate. You know, like they like to have these sorts of things. I feel, you know, they want to have, you know, the options to join fan clubs and to, you know, get an extra poster or something like that. I mean, it's kind of separates this album from other albums that came out at the time. I truly believe that, and that's why I try to do the same thing even with my own stuff, because, you know, there's so many records that come out at this time. You know, what's going to separate mine from everybody else's, right? So I'm a really big fan of this record. It's one of his better live records. In fact, I would probably go out on a limb and say that's probably my favorite live album that he's done. It's very close to, I think, the NASA Coliseum show that came out on the box set beforehand is a close second. I think that's a really fantastic live album as well. But this one's really good because I like the material better because it's of that time period that I think is David Bowie's more stronger material. Yeah. So that's David Bowie Stage Special Edition yellow vinyl, and you can't buy this version in the store. This one comes only in the box set. Okay. Interestingly enough, the 2017 3-album version, I believe, will be made available to buy, and that's in regular black vinyl.
The box set is probably limited to a certain amount of pressings or whatever. It's kind of similar to how the Kisteria thing, where they put a few extras pressings in there that are not available by themselves.
Yeah, Now, just a quick thing too with this as well, since you've kind of brought it up, and I guess it'd be smart to do this with each of them, I guess, is that this record came out originally in 78, was number 5 in the UK, was number 18 in Norway, interestingly enough, and hit number 44 on the Billboard Pop Album charts. The single off of this record was Breaking Glass, and it hit 54 on the UK singles chart, and it did go gold in the UK in 78. So, and that is for selling 100,000 copies of the record. So there you have all the info of that.
Cool. Well, excellent. That's a cool one. I haven't seen that one before. So
yeah,
I'll have to
we're on to you.
Listen to some samples of that one. Yeah, on to me for my last pick here. Is, you know what's funny about that is my last pick is a 78 album. No, it's right. It's not 78. It's 77. I was wrong. Okay, it was close. But this one is I've been kind of getting more excited about because I'm going to be seeing this band later this year in August. So this is a relatively new one I got that's old, I guess you could say. But it was my first album that I bought by this band back in 1977. And it is Electric Light Orchestra, Out of the Blue.
Nice.
And this one, let's see here. I have stuff stuck in here. I think so, before I get to that part, it is a double album for, a studio album. So it folds open, you can see the full picture.
Wow.
The inside is kind of like a spaceship also kind of deal. But this one here was pressed in Europe. I can't remember where. I'll have to look at it now. But you could not get this color here in the U.S. at least. This is also blue, another translucent blue again.
Nice.
And it's on Jet Records. Is that upside down?
Mm-hmm. No, it's perfect.
Okay. And this, let's see if it says here. I think it might say where. I don't know. It said, well, the company says Los Angeles, California, but so I'm not sure where they pressed it, but I had to go overseas to find it. But when I bought it, and so I'm not sure. I'd have to look it up again. But I saw this is in blue, and I thought, I like, again, like we were talking, I like the colored vinyl. It sounds cool. Both of them are blue, of course, but this one had an insert too. This album came with inserts. One was kind of like just a generic, kind of a little poster of showing each member that's in the band, kind of thing. And then for fun, and hasn't been popped out or anything, but this is where you can put together your own little spaceship.
Oh, nice.
It's perforated and stuff, and you build it. And this one has not been, touched or broken apart or anything. So it's not like a cardboard kind of thing. So that was the insert. I probably showed this already, but all the sleeves were the lyrics. It's all lyrics on both sleeves, but. Yeah, I had to get this one, and actually I have another one, which was a remaster or whatever you want to call it, edition that came out a few years back. That is it's clear vinyl. It's the same.
Yeah, I think I've seen that.
But it's a repress. It's a new pressing. It's one of the represses. But this is an original from back in '77. So I wanted to get it on the blue color, and I wanted the original pressing too. That was the key thing I was going for there. which I think this sounds better than the repress. Which in a lot of cases, as you probably know, Mark, the original ones sound better than the new ones.
Yeah. Yeah.
I have a hard time getting it right. But yeah, so that's electric light organ. I guess maybe I'll just throw in a couple of little stats here, like we were talking. So this 77, it went to Canadian peak was Canadian RPM album chart. I guess number two.
Wow, that's good.
Yeah. Let's see, U.S. Billboard. It went to. Oh, wait a minute. No, now there's another one here. Chart, it says chart 78. It says Canadian albums chart 46. So I don't know which one's right.
They're two different charts. But...
Oh, okay. And then the U.S. Billboard year end was 18, but but U.S. Billboard 200. I guess it got to albums chart. Got to 4.
That's
so the
good.
true album chart, I guess, was 4, and probably the true album chart for Canadians 2. And then it sold. Where's the sales on this thing? Looks like Canada 31 times platinum.
That's under the certification.
Right? Well, now this says certified unit sales 100,000, over 100,000. A certification of platinum. So
yeah, that's
right.
But if it's 31, then that means I went 31 times platinum. Then
I can't believe it sold that many. Well, 31. Well, it could have. Yeah, that made sense. And then United States says looks like 1 million. Yeah, which is the platinum certification, but it says 35 on that. I can't have sold 35 million copies. But I don't know what these other numbers. That sounds a
little high.
These numbers are okay. Certifications. Okay.
What is that album called?
Out of the Blue.
Out of the Blue.
Let's see. Wait. Album. Out of Blue recording issues is necessary. I don't know what the 35. I think that's just a notation or something.
I can tell you right now in 1 second.
I don't think it sold that many. But
no, I don't think so.
That
either.
would have been one of the greatest albums of all time selling. That was true.
No, okay, so here we go. So those little brackets beside there are just reference and external link things. So if you drop down in the reference menu there, all those little things will go beside it. So in Canada, it went platinum. It sold 100,000 copies. In Germany, it went gold. It went 250,000. Netherlands, it was gold with 50,000 copies. United Kingdom, it was platinum at 300,000, which means I sold quite a few, though, because platinum in the UK is 100,000, if I'm not mistaken. And platinum in the United States at 1 million. So that's fantastic sales for a record, right?
Yeah. It could have been right. Yeah, those
those
other numbers were a reference, like you said. So
yeah, they're just reference points.
But I mean, I've always loved the album. That one took a while there's some great songs in there, but then there's some other ones that took a while to grow on me. But then once they grow on me, I really enjoy them. I really enjoy the album. But
right. Well, I knew that you were looking forward to seeing ELO and going to go see them, so it makes sense for this sort of a purchase and for this sort of a selection as well.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Great. So for my final one, now, this is going to be, I'm just going to do a short little preface to this one too. For the longest time, I've been looking for this record by this band. Now, it's a progressive metal band, and their albums you could find on CD no problem, obviously. Although that's becoming harder in some spots to find certain records. But the vinyl of this was near impossible, and especially the original pressings, when I did find them, they were like, what? Like how much they wanted for some of these pressings. It was unbelievable. So I had given up all hope on getting this on vinyl until a few days ago. This is another 2018 purchase. I went to Sunrise Records here in my hometown of Brampton, walked in the store, and I literally did one of these where I was walking past the first shelf, walked about 4 steps past it, and just kind of did like a frozen my spot there. Kind of saw in the corner of my eye something, looked around, looked back, and saw at the bottom of the shelf this record. I was like, my jaw literally hit the floor.
Oh, really?
Because not only was it this one, but the record before also, which I love, they were both reissued by Metal Blade. And I was like, that's it. I just grabbed them, like I made a beeline for them and grabbed them. And they also came out on colored vinyl too. Now, this to me, Ken, and for everybody else who's watching, is how a vinyl record should be released. Okay. And you'll see what I mean when I show you.
All right.
So this is a record. I'll take it out of the plastic here because I still have it in the original shrink because I didn't have any sleeves yet. But this is by the band Fate's Warning. This is their album Parallels.
Okay.
Okay. I noticed that old man looks familiar. He's the same old man from Enter Sandman video.
Yeah. I was gonna say. That's funny.
Okay. So there's...
Brown marbled vinyl. Interesting color, yeah.
Yeah. Now, this album will... Many things in here will make sense for why I love this record so much. I mean, if you look at it, the credits produced by Terry Brown, who did all the Rush albums.
Yeah. Okay.
And this was recorded at Metalworks here in Mississauga, Ontario. Which is another thing that I was like, wow. And every song on here, I'm not shitting you, is brilliant. Like every song on this record is fantastic. You there's no point in lifting the needle anywhere except for just flipping the sides. It's that good a record, okay? And it was remastered for vinyl by Patrick Engel at Temple of Disharmony in September of 2017. Originally, it was mastered by Bob Ludwig, and that's the original. That's why I'd love to still get an original of this because I'm sure it would sound great. Now, this is what I was talking about earlier about how releasing a vinyl properly. Okay, so we take it out, and they have the original style Metal Blade sleeves.
Okay.
Which are really cool. Like,
nice.
If you're a Metal Blade fan of this kind of album, like from their records, you'll love these sleeves. Okay, now the vinyl itself is on that kind of brown ochre.
Oh yeah.
Right. Marbled, right?
Yeah.
So I'll flip it over so you can see the center label better.
Yeah, that's nice.
And flip it over here, side B. Now, not only that, okay, and not only does it sound fantastic, but you also have a proper lyric sheet.
Good. Yeah, that's good.
I mean, I was so impressed with this. I actually wrote to Brian Slagle, the label head of this, like the president, and said that this record impressed me so much. It reminds me of my own record, actually, because I did the same thing. Lyric sheet, you know, a decent anti-static sleeve. And that is anti-static, that one I showed in there.
Yeah.
Okay.
I figured. Yeah.
And on top of it, there's one more thing that they did.
Oh.
They added a poster in there. Now, they went a little bit more, you know, all out than I did with mine, because this is a
bigger,
rather large.
Yeah. Fold out.
Now, if you flip it.
Okay. Yep. That's cool.
Can you see that okay?
Oh, yeah. Perfect.
Okay.
That's nice.
So that's what they did there. So and I'll tell you something, Ken. When I saw that they only wanted 32 Canadian for that, I was like, wow. Okay, like I bought both of them. This one and the album before this, which is called Perfect Symmetry. Okay. This is actually called Parallels. This record.
So
now, Go on.
Yeah, what would you say the music? Because I don't think I've listened to them at all. Comparative to, I know you said it's progressive, but
Well, there's obvious Rush influences with Terry Brown's involvement in there,
okay, yeah,
and it's very. Let's put it this way: Dream Theater got a lot of their roots from these guys. They're best friends, Dream Theater and these
okay,
guys.
yeah,
And James LaBrie actually sings backing vocals on this album as well. They're a singer from Dream Theater,
yeah,
so
yeah.
there's a lot of similarity between it. Except Fate's Warning is a lot more guitar driven, whereas Dream Theater has a lot more keyboards in it.
Okay,
So this is more double lead. There's two guitar players in this, right? And they're both fantastic guitar players. And I'll tell you one thing, their drummer, Mark Zonder, is unbelievable. Terry Brown called him the human clock because he was so good
oh really?
with timekeeping, and he would do all kinds of insane things with like pads and stuff. I mean,
Wow,
do yourself a favor.
yeah,
Check it out.
I'll check it
On
out
on
because-
YouTube, you'll check it out. There's lots of great stuff. And check out the studio stuff. There's live stuff there, but there's not usually the best. It's always like audience cam stuff, and it sounds like shit. But listen to the studio album stuff. It's unbelievable.
I'll check it out.
So
because,
that to me, literally brought a tear to my eye when I saw this because I wanted this record so much.
wow,
So I'm glad I have it. And I would honestly, just let me show one more time.
yeah,
I would consider this a grail find for me.
oh wow, okay, very
Yeah.
good.
So
Yeah,
very
I would,
happy.
I'll have to check it out because I tend to like the more the guitar driven. I mean, I had the first Dream Theater album, which is it's good, very good. But yeah, I'd rather have more guitar out front. And if these guys are a little bit more out front, I might like.
You would like it.
Okay,
I think you would definitely like this.
well, I'm definitely gonna check it out. Definitely. So, because if it sounds good to me, I'm probably gonna go out there and get something.
Yeah. And now's the time because this is only limited to 500 copies, it says. So,
Wow, 500. That's it. Holy
Yeah.
cow! You are right. It's like a holy grail
Yeah.
kind of thing.
it is. Yeah. Definitely.
Oh,
So, like I said, if you like that kind of guitar-based stuff, this is the
Yeah.
record for you.
okay.
So my friend picked some very interesting records. Of course, once again, we, melded minds and
Yes.
picked a same record again. So I'm sure that'll continue. I always feel that we're gonna do that again sometime again.
Probably.
So, but I think that's it for this episode. Thank you for your great selections, Ken, and
too.
thank you everybody out there for watching and for checking out this episode. Be sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. We are on a perfect roll here with doing at least one a month. So we will again see you next month with our next selection. We will think hard about what to do for the next one. And I know, as I look at Mr. Ken Keenan right now, that
Yes.
the Kiss vault, Gene Simmons vault, is speaking to him.
It
Come,
is,
come,
yeah.
open me, come, open me. So we won't torture him any longer. So we will say, on behalf of Ken Keenan, on behalf of myself, thank you very much for watching the East-West Vinyl Analysis, and we will see you all next time. Bye for now.